Rafał z tą dziką pozycją. Zobacz, co on wyprawia na backline. Forsaken. Antonio, on niekryty. Dołapie sobie eliminację i to będzie multi-kill.
Smoka bezpieczne i jeszcze wezmą im w dodatku toplanera.
Hello and welcome to the Ultraliga Week 7, Day 1. I am JReal, and of course to my left, you know this wonderful woman. You know her for all of your season. It's Solari. Welcome in Week 7, Day 1. 2 game days left. It's all down to the wire.
Hello, JReal. It's so nice to have you here. You're a fun new addition to this season of Ultraliga. It's only getting more and more interesting with each passing week, but it's super cool to have you here, especially since it's the first time to Ultraliga, so we gotta give you a little introduction. There is only one thing that you should really be expecting from Ultraliga, from the games that you're gonna be seeing today, and hopefully some other games that you'll be joining us for. It is that you should be expecting the unexpected, because you never know what these teams are gonna pull out.
Okay, I like it. Obviously, I've spent a lot of my time in Div 2 NLC, so we do get that a little bit. But I will say I've been slightly prepared coming into this, right? I was watching, or actually I was casting the EPL, right? The European Pro League second season, and we saw Z10. We saw Back to the Game, and they put on big shows, right? Both taking themselves to the finals. Definitely a lot of quality coming out from this region. And I'm excited to get in to see some of these other teams as well, as we are going to kick it off with Zero Tenacity taking on devils.one. And it is a must-win for devils.one, which means, you know what? If you're ever going to find a day to beat Zero Tenacity, this is going to be it.
Which is not going to be an easy task, to be fair. Like, I wouldn't wish it upon anybody to go to Zero Tenacity knowing that this is the game that they must need to progress somewhere. This is literally the worst scheduled card they could have pulled out. But unfortunately, you know, as the saying goes, it is what it is. They got to beat Zero Tenacity. Otherwise, their chances of getting to the playoffs are done. Today is the decisive day for devils.one.
Yeah, and what a way to write this script, by the way, if they do win, because then tomorrow they take on GRP for the final game, right? And talking about GRP, they are also playing today, right? They're going to be our second game of the day, taking on Forsaken. Obviously, again, another tough challenge indeed, but this could lock themselves into playoffs if they beat Forsaken, which obviously we'll talk about a little bit later, but we both think there might be a good chance they have a win here.
They can, because yes, we will need to talk about for a second for a little bit, because they're bringing in some changes. If you are an avid Twitter user, you already know what exactly we're talking about. If no, well, we will fill you in the details sooner enough. But for Group Check after today's game is important, not as important, of course, than for devils.one. They mostly just need to be watching the first game, hoping the devils.one do not win theirs, because then Group Check are pretty much guaranteed to get into the playoffs, because it is just one last place that is remaining for them. All the other places have already been distributed among everybody, including Matty USA LODIS and Back to the Game, who are going to be playing the third game today. Back to the Game are confirmed to be there in the playoffs in the best of fives. Matty USA LODIS, unfortunately, not so much.
Yeah, Orbit and Anonymo will need to pick up the win there. I think our graphic is slightly off because I think it's Orbit they're taking on Matty, but it's a game it's a game that will be a little bit for fun, but I feel like a lot can be shown from this game, right? I think they should still utilize it as a very worthwhile playing game. Maybe bring out some stuff that we haven't seen from them. Maybe show the fans exactly what they're capable of, so that when they do come back into the league, they're ready to rumble. They're ready to show exactly how to do it. And obviously, you don't want to be bottom of the league. You don't want to be kind of getting yourself in that 7th position as well. So there still is a lot to fight for down there. Obviously, as we saw the last game, Back to the Game versus Iron Wolves. Expectations are going to be set pretty high for Back to Game to win, but you never know. Upsets happen, and maybe today is the day. Maybe it is going to kick off with an upset with devils.one taking on Zero Tenacity, which admittedly, as you said, is a tough ask, right? I've seen 0-10 take on quite a few teams now. They've looked ferocious. They're dangerous in the early game. They're adaptable, but they also just don't give you the opportunity to breathe. And that's where I'm a little bit worried about devils.one kind of actually just finding their footing in this game.
It's going to be hard. That's all I'm going to just throw in the air. This is going to be incredibly hard for devils.one to simply understand how to navigate in this game and what to do with Zero Tenacity. Because I love what you said about that team. They are very adaptable. They had to fight their own demons to get to the point where they are right now in terms of how versatile they are in their approach to the game. But they are here, and devils.one have to fight Zero Tenacity in their peak form. And in their peak form, Zero Tenacity are not an easy task, because you don't even know how to approach them. Their early game is super strong and consistent. Their late game tends to be really good lately as well. And then if you just look across the map, where they even attack them, they have an incredibly good bot lane with Harpoon pulling off some incredible plays. They have the most reliable mid lane you can ever imagine with Korotkiy. Melonic on the top lane has been doing really good. And then there is jungle, which to me, honestly, is going to be so interesting, because it's going to be Blurzer versus Krisha. I think it's going to be my personal matchup of the day.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. You were hyping up Krisha to me in the green room before we talked about this. I'm very excited to see this person play, especially the fact that there has to be a lot about this player, right? Because the Nidalee 92% ban against this team, like, you know, you don't get that just for being okay, right? You have to be pretty exceptional. So I definitely think there's a lot of weight on Krisha's hands. So we'll see how they adapt. Because also, talking about adapt, Blue Razor is someone that I watched a lot, right? When I was watching through the EPL. And when I came over here, I was like, okay, well, he's been playing a lot of Rek'Sai, he's playing some Sejuani, you know, a lot of these kind of setup for the team plays. But in there, he was just perma playing Brand. So maybe he's going to bring the new style over to the Ultraliga and show how dangerous this team is and really how flexible they can be. But devils.one, I will say there is a little bit of a caveat for me. Okay, when I did see 0-10, they like to play around that bot lane. They like to kind of get themselves sorted. And devils.one also like that. So there is a world where if they can pull up that trump card, get their bot lane ahead, get lower rift security, maybe they can actually start to pick up against Z10. But obviously, we both picked Z10 for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty self-explanatory prediction from both of us, right? Even you just coming into Ultraliga know that Zero Tenacity are not the team to toy about. But I like your point about the bot side of the map, about the bot lane more specifically, because it's devils.one we're talking about, and it's Antonio we're talking about. So far in this split, we were only blessed with 1 pentakill. And it was by that guy. It was Antonio. But I would actually, can we check if I'm going crazy? Was it 1 pentakill or 2? But I'm pretty sure that it was only 1, and it was Antonio. But you know, if I'm feeding you some false information, that would be very rude of me. It's your first day here.
No, but either way, pentakill is a pentakill. The fact that they've got one is all we need to know, right? Because you know what? If you can pull off another one today,
that would be game-changing. Yeah,
the game could be yours. So there is a world. I will say, the weakness, if we were to ever give a weakness to 0-10, who do feel a little bit Achilles-esque at the moment, you know, there's not much that you can kind of break them for, but that heel of theirs would potentially be the mid game, right? I do think that their early game has been exceptional. They pretty much always get a lead. However, there can be a tendency where they slow down a bit, almost as if they're kind of like maybe playing around a little bit, maybe like not staying fully focused to just the fast end. And then they've been getting caught out a little bit. They had a couple very close games where they had to essentially just be like, okay, no, we're just better, and kind of bring the game back into their hands, especially against Back to the Game. So I do feel like there is a world where they can be picked off. But again, very difficult to do with how solid their early game is. So definitely an uphill battle. But you know what? It can happen. It has happened. You know, there was a lot of potential onto Melonic as well when I saw played against them. It did harm them a little bit, but overall this team is solid. So yeah, if you want to win devils.one, you got to come correct today.
You gotta have to climb a mountain, and this mountain is really damn high, and I'm not sure if you have the right equipment to even approach this mountain. But hey, devils.one have to try, right? It's literally their last chance. If they win today, they have a winning chance against Grapetree. If Grapetree lose their second game today, then both them are meeting each other tomorrow on, I believe, the second game of the day. And then this is going to be the decisive match between the two. But if devils.one lose right now, there is not going to be any decision to be made tomorrow. It's done deal. They are out.
They would be out indeed. And there's still a lot to play for, right? Even in the people that are going to playoffs, right? I think Forsaken and also Back to the Game have a lot to play for in these games, right? They can't take these games lightly because they are head to head. They are neck and neck. They are basically setting each other up for the second spot. But who will finally take it, right? That is going to be the big question on a lot of people's minds. But one thing I want to kind of get into, right? One thing that I've been thinking about a lot since watching Z10 is about this mid lane pick, right? Because we've seen a lot of Tristana. The rise has been incremental, right? It's been crazy. Korotkiy also very popular. And 010, they love the Lucian, right? I feel like Kofta's Lucian has been immaculate, right? Yeah. Such a good pick into the Tristanas, having a really good time. But I do kind of wonder, is there a world where devils.one say, you know what? Maybe we actually go and give the Tristana and maybe take that Lucian instead. You know, is there a world where they can maybe out Kofta?
I love the way you're putting it. I'm not really sure you can out Kofta because this guy has a preferred pool of champions that he tends to go into are his comfort champions. Before this meta shift towards Tristanas and Korotkiy on the mid lane, we saw a lot of Azure played by him. And he's really confident with those champions and he pivots a lot. But I do think that trying to narrow down his choices is going to be almost impossible because I need to check which side they're playing on. devils.one are on the red side, which means since devils.one are on the red side bans are really limited these days. You're pretty much guaranteed that the first 3 bans on your side are going to be known in advance to the opponent because it has to be something like Skana, Rumble, Tristana, or something of that sort for the mid lane. You know, those stable picks, kind of. Zyra Brand most likely as well because Blurzer is going to be a problem for them if they allow something like that. I don't think they will have a chance to out-ban Kofta. And then they are leaving the first pick to him, and he can go for Lucian. He can go for things like that. I don't think devils.one have the luxury of trying to have any mind games against Kofta specifically. Okay. Mind games definitely afoot though. Blue as well. As we said, Brand has been a pickup. I do wonder, and not only, well, I will say this, not only just a pickup, but like first pick locked in over a lot of different picks. So definitely a lot of priority on that Brand. We're going to be going over to the draft. So let's get into that one because I want to see what Z10 are cooking, right? And I also want to see what devils.one have to kind of bring it back into their favor. As we go into it, hey, no one is surprised. Nidalee is banned away. Let's go. Yes, Nidalee. I mean, you said it was, what, 92% ban rate against devils.one? So those 8% when she's not banned, she's picked by Croatia. She has 100% presence in devils.one games. And another fun fact, by the way, I actually am a little bit lost in my own statistics here, but I strongly believe that Zyra still